Sometimes, man, you just get to where I can't figure this out. Like, help me out. I'm trying to understand, dudes, what the hell is going on? So that's the name of this partnership. You tell me. 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 This is cool. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. Live. You tell me. Live. You tell me. Live. You tell me. Live. We be clubbing.
I'm telling you.
Wrong. Get your club on. Y'all know what it is. It is Tuesday night. That means another episode of You Tell Me Live with your man, Uncle Neely. And of course, could not do it without my right-hand man, Philip Dukes, a.k.a. Dukes. The Scoop, Dukes.
Oh, now?
It's finally here, baby. Draft week. It's finally here. It all goes down this week. First round is on Thursday. Closing out the draft on Saturday. But before we get into You Tell Me and all that jazz, how you making it, brother? How you feeling out there?
Man, I'm cool, man. You know, ready for this pollen to be done, all the way washed away. But, you know, the pollination in Atlanta said they're going to stay for a while. But, you know, I'm still fighting allergies, but I'm glad to be here, man. Absolutely ecstatic for it to be draft week and for us to finally see the destination of the Colorado Buffaloes that have gone to the NFL draft. What about you, Unc? How you feeling?
Man, I'm back in Mississippi. You know, we finished our spring ball on Saturday, so I caught that first thing smoking back home on Sunday. I'll be here all of May working on the Jackson, but got to make a quick run over the Country Prime tomorrow to get ready for the draft on Thursday night. So I'll be with the Sanders family for that. But when you talk about that pollen, I got a black truck. That son bitch was green when I got off the plane. you can scoop it off the car.
Man, that's crazy.
That pollen ain't no joke. Hey, you know, if you're just checking in, as always, let us know where you're checking in from. I see Fort Pierce is in the house. Old Now from Canada is in the building. 619 Booyaka Booyaka. San Diego is in the house. Indianapolis, Naptown is checking in. Always let us know where you're watching from. And if you got a question, if you got something on your mind that's a You Tell Me, drop it in the chat. We'll try to get to it. Make it a super chat. Big Dog Chico's in the background producer. He'll definitely see it and put that up on the screen. Hey, Dukes, without further ado, man, with it being draft week, let's just get right into it. You tell me, how many Buffaloes, Colorado Buffs, do you see getting their names called in the totality of the 2025 draft?
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna go 7.5. I go 8. I feel like I'm right there between 7 and 8. And this is after doing, like, you know, watching people's stocks rise and fall, looking at different position groups, looking at all the mock drafts, looking at Dane Brugler's guide. When you look at some of the guys who have been more, who have documented relationships with scouts and front office types, I'm gonna go right there between the 7 and 8. And so I think I'm gonna go with the 3 wide receivers. Well, excuse me, 4 if you count Travis, depending on what that, you know, how they feel. I think all of them get a call. I think Shiloh gets a call. I think Shedeur gets a call. So what's that? 7. Let me see. Shedeur, Travis, the 3 receivers, Will Shepard, LaJohntay Webster, and Jimmy Horn all get a call. That's 5. Shiloh 6. Who am I missing? I really think Sil McCray get a call. 7. And I think there's gonna be a wild card in there between one of those linemen or someone else. If I was to count that. What you think, huh?
I like it. I like it. I like it. Matter of fact, I love it. I love it so much that you made it easy for me. And I hate to do this, but hey, we hustlers from the hood. You made it easy for me to take the under because somebody gonna get the prime tax put on them. I don't know who that's gonna be. So if you're going 8, give me 7. But here's what I will say: 7 drafted, but a total of 10 make a roster.
Okay, I can go for that.
Because I think there's going to be some names that may not get called, such as a Cameron Simmons, Craig, although you have him as a name getting called. And I agree with you there. Let's say his name doesn't get called. He's going to go undrafted free agent. He's going to make that team. And he's going to be playing special teams week 1. That's the kind of talent that you have when you look out there. You mentioned those offensive guys, which you give me those check marks too. But, you can't forget about a BJ Green and what he did in his performances. I also can't forget about a Chidozie out there. So I think this thing could go as high as 10, but I think it'll settle somewhere around 7. But I believe that there will be 10 when you get out of preseason and you get to 53-man roster plus practice squad. I think you'll have 10-plus buffs in the NFL come season 2025.
Man, and it's crazy that we talked about that because, all right, off the top of your head, if you had to guess, what percent of undrafted free agents actually made rosters last year? What would you guess? And if you had to guess how many of those guys ended up on the practice squad, what percentage would you guess?
Oh man, it's well over 60 that don't.
Yeah.
It's well over 60 that don't, and you're blessed if you make the practice squad after that situation. So what we're saying about these guys, that we believe they'll get undrafted free agent status, get camp invites, and stick at the camp. I mean, that is a hell of a compliment when you look at the NFL. And one of the things I've always said, Dukes, from even working in my agency days, that when you take the ego out of it, Ruby and Wallace Neely Baby Boy, I'd rather you not call my name the final round and let me go undrafted free agent. Because undrafted free agent, I get to pick where I want to go. I get to entertain calls. I get to see the age of your roster in my position, the contract situation in my position, all the things that can go into making place A over place B or C a better fit for me. So, matter of fact, put me down for the last 2 rounds. If you're going to draft me the last 2 rounds, don't draft me at all. Let me go undrafted free agent because I can increase my odds by selecting where I want to go versus going somewhere just to be an extra body in the room only to get waived or cut later.
Man, so I got some good stats here. And the reason I asked that is because before, I previously would have thought that maybe only 7 to 8% of undrafted free agents actually make the team. Well, last year in 2024, 18% of undrafted free agents made game 1 rosters, and 28% made the first game practice squad. All right, so the New York Jets led the league last year with 7 undrafted free agents that made their roster. Tied for second was the Kansas City Chiefs had 5. The LA Rams, the LA Rams had 5. The New Orleans Saints had 5. So these are teams that have histories of saying, you know what, we don't care if we drafted you or not. We need bodies, we need players. And you can always look to teams who need help with the salary cap. Look to teams who don't have a lot of draft picks as teams that you want to see someone who doesn't get drafted go to. When you look at the depth chart and then you look at the amount of guaranteed money that these teams have given out. Last year, when you look at it like, okay, the New Orleans Saints, 100% of the guys who had signing bonuses, undrafted free agent, got their signing bonus. Those are the type of things that you look for when you say, okay, this front office has a history of paying their guys and treating priority free agents is what they call them, the PFAs, as if they're 7th round or 8th round. Basically, they call it the 8th round. So I'm going to dig into it a little bit more. Tomorrow on the morning run, I'll have a list of some of the teams that you will want some of your guys to end up on priority free agent wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that analysis, man, because that's just the way it is. And I really think, a lot of times as fans and even players and players' families, we get caught up in the ego of the name getting called. And there's nothing wrong with that. People grow up on the playgrounds in basketball counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and taking a shot because everybody dreams of hitting that game winner. Same thing with football. Everybody dreams of the commissioner calling their name and handing them their jersey, with one on it, and one to go in the first round, one to go early. But the reality is this process is such a blessing and such a generational lifetime changing that just getting there is the blessing. It don't matter if you get there with your name called or not, which is why I'm saying I'm putting a lot of emphasis that by the time we get to Sunday morning, and because all the dust will be settled in, a lot of it settles once the draft ends on Saturday night, because I've literally been with players in their homes and helping them field calls from undrafted free agent offers. So it moves fast. People are going to sign deals. They also get a little signing bonus as well. They got to report immediately because OTAs and all that is coming up. Just don't try to discount as fans when people don't get drafted. Watch what happens with the undrafted free agent list, and then who actually sticks, makes it through camp, and makes it to that opening day roster. That's what you want. You got muted there, Dukes.
Hey, that mute undefeated versus me, boy. Good gracious. But now, man, like you said, man, like even this year, as I, some of the guys that I mentor, as we look at, you talk to different teams, they're getting their final Zoom meetings and understanding, it's a tough conversation to have sometimes. Like, hey, look, listen, the way things are shaping up, you can go, you're being graded from multiple teams as a 6th round pick to a free agent. How do we want to answer that phone call? Because 6th round, they're gonna ask you, you get into the mid of 6th round, it's like, hey, how do you feel about being a whatever team? And you got an opportunity to say, I think we're gonna, looking at the roster and looking at the opportunity there, I think, we may stick it out. And those are conversations that really happen. Like there are definitely you get promises from teams that say, hey, we don't have a pick in the 7th round, but we'll sign you and we'll match your signing bonus from being a 7th round pick. So all of these things going to draft is so much to go. And I know, so like you said, like when we should probably do something, a draft with our next, you tell me, we should probably focus that on the draft and situations that we see that come out of this and see where we think guys, how they'll fare when they get into those roles.
I love it. I love it. It's on you, big dog.
All right. Oh, you tell me. On a scale of 1 to 10, how feasible or how likely is it that Shedeur Sanders isn't the 2nd quarterback taken?
It's not on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me phrase it this way. There's absolutely no way in hell he ain't the 2nd quarterback taken. I don't see a scenario with his talent, with his ability, even with the prime tax on top of his head. I don't see a situation where any GM or owner out of these 32 teams can sit up and say that there's another quarterback better than him or that much better than him or brings that much to the table when you look at the prime effect that it will bring, because he also is a Sanders as well. I just don't see that happening. I think that all indicators are that Cam Ward is going to be the first quarterback taken, but I absolutely believe Shedeur Sanders will be the second taken, with the rest of the QBs, coming back as late or early as you want to look at it, maybe in the mid-20s in the first round, but after that they're going to be 2nd and 3rd rounders. So I'm if I just had to just try to pontificate on it, Cam, Shedeur with a couple of spaces between them, and then a whole lot of spaces before you get to the next one, which will probably be Ole Miss's quarterback at this point.
Right.
But again, that's somewhere around the 21st to 25th pick for him, with Cam and Shedeur being in the top 10. You tell me.
Yeah, I think with 1 being very likely and 10 being highly unlikely that he goes third or later, I'm gonna say is what 1. Like there's no chance, or should it be 10? I tell you what, he ain't going 3rd. He going 2nd. That's what. How about that one? Before I confuse myself.
That's why I ain't want to mess it up either. That's why I flipped it.
Yeah. I had to out question myself, but now serious business. I just don't see it when you look at the things that Shedeur brings. And man, Pac-Man, shout out to Pac, man. Pac said something. He said he heard that the Jaguars were looking to make a move for Shedeur Sanders. And he said, he got it on a very reliable source that, that the Jaguars are looking to move on from Trevor Lawrence and feel like Shedeur Sanders would be the guy to fill the seats. Pat got some pretty reliable sources, and he's been right. When you go back and you look at over the past year, he's been right a good amount of times. And I say this: you really have to realize that Shedeur Sanders, even if it's Cam Ward, nobody is going to fill the seats like Shedeur Sanders in the entire draft. Let's just say you're not in love, like for whatever reason, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Okay, yeah, you think he's just as good as anybody else in the draft. All right, fine. Who else has the marketing ability or the marketability of Shedeur Sanders? Who else is going to sell the type of jerseys that Shedeur Sanders will sell? And who else has the cachet of winning and being a proven winner and elevating the teams around him like a Shedeur Sanders?
Let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
I hate to interrupt you, but let me tell you this. If we had a sound man and we had a sound man with just a bevy of sounds pre-uploaded, I would have been hitting that Keith Sweat nobody every time you asked a question. Nobody. Because it ain't nobody, man.
Yeah. So I think the sound man upset, man, because I was talking about his cousin earlier. So
yeah, he is. He is feeling.
I ain't gonna say that, man.
Come on now, dog.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's better to be in your feelings than in somebody's mouth. So we'll leave that there.
That's a lie.
That's crazy. But yeah, man, I absolutely think that he's the second quarterback taken. And I think he goes in the top 10. I think the latest you'll see him go is 9 to the Saints. That's the latest you'll see him go. And it could be 9 to somebody else. We don't know. Could be 8. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of wheeling and dealing. And I think as you see the draft shake out, you'll see 2 Colorado Buffaloes go in the first round in the top 10 picks.
Man, my mama, she from down there, Simpson County, McGee, Mississippi. Shout out to them Woods. There's a lot of these teams playing possum right now. There's a lot of these folks acting uninterested, knowing they damn well interested. There's also, as always, a concerted effort to drive down the price. We know that the what you pay in the first round or in the rookie draft is slated by pick. So if I can get a guy at 9 instead of having to get him at 3, okay, that's just good business in the Billionaires Boys Club. I get all that as well.
Yeah.
But when you look at what this guy has proven, been a winner at every level he's played, been an organizational change agent everywhere he's been, the prime effect, gravitas that follows him, that even if somehow you tried to close one eye and squint the other and said that he was, quote unquote, like this other quarterback or they're tit for tat, when you look at everything else he brings to the table, you have to go to Shedeur Sanders, who is ready to take on the mantle of leadership of a team, to face the cameras doing the bad and the good and the ugly, than this guy who has been in it all his life. It would be asinine for this league, this NFL, this group of 32 billionaires, for somebody to say he ain't the second best quarterback minimum, in this draft class. So stranger things have happened, but I don't believe that that's going to be one of them, particularly you factor in all the things they bring to the table. I was trying to catch somebody's comment. Oh, there it is. Omari Smith. It's not a question. It's not a super chat, but he said chop, kick, and punk. P-U-N-C-K. Hey, man, you know that's somebody to watch the show right there. That's
yeah,
right. You got P-U-N-C-K in the building, baby.
That's funny.
I love it. All right, Big Dukes, I think it's on me. Y'all just joining in. This is You Tell Me live on Tuesday nights with yours truly, Uncle Neely, Philip Dukes, a.k.a. Dukes Scoop, and Big Dog Chico producing the show in the background. Dukes, the NBA playoffs are underway. You tell me, have there been any surprises so far? Is everything going as you thought it would?
No surprises. I feel like everything is going about chalk, right? I think you got some last night. You got a series get even, but outside of that, I think when you saw the way the number 1 teams came out and proved why they were number 1. I mean, across the board, the 1 seeds came out and did it. I just think Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the NCAA tournament. I think the only upset you'll probably see in the first round, if I had to pick an upset, is going to be the Timberwolves over the Lakers. That's the only upset I will see in the first round. Outside of that, I think everything goes.
Come on now, dog.
At least the second round.
Come on.
I don't know. Was that the sound man? Is the sound man?
Trump sound man.
Sound man a Lakers fan?
The sound man worked for the producer. The producer, Lakers fan.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man, I just think that's the only upset I could see. And that's the only time, and that was the only game one that I think that the favorite lost, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I would say if there was any, Marty, I'm sorry, bro. Like at the end of the day, and the night, that's my next You Tell Me. We'll talk about the night on my You Tell Me. How about you? You tell me. Well, no, that's not a You Tell Me. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been surprised. There have been some things that made me step back, but again, it's not the wins or the losses; it's the margins. You know, they look, man. OKC is a better team than the Memphis Grizzlies.
Right.
51 points better. Come on, man. And before we came on, I watched the first half of tonight OKC Memphis Grizzlies, and 1 point OKC was up 20. I mean, as soon as Memphis cut it to 10, it went back up to 19, and then to 22. It's like they can't run with them. They can't handle them. It doesn't even look like two NBA teams playing. It looks like a NBA team versus a JUCO. No disrespect to JUCO. And I think what has to happen, like me and you talked about this, Deuce. We talked about it during March Madness. You know how during March Madness, the best team does not necessarily win because you can catch somebody. You can get hot. And you can get hot on a 5-minute roll and somebody just can't come back. In this situation where you got to play somebody 4 times, coaching and scheming changes is so important. And I know the Grizzlies made a coaching change, and it just shows like they don't have anything that they can do personnel wise or switch ups. Like you wouldn't have told me that before the playoffs started that OKC was going to beat their opponent by 51 and then be up 20 something but game 2. Like that just doesn't happen in the NBA playoffs.
Right.
So that has been surprising. Even the Lakers lost. The gap there was surprising. So I'm gonna be interested in that. But you're exactly right. When you come down to winner or loser, nothing yet, has been jaw dropping. But there have been some point totals or even some shooting percentages. Like what Timberwolves did from beyond the 3, or even what Ant-Man said about the size of his Johnson. There's been some things. There's been some things that's happened that's been like, okay, this ain't a normal playoff situation, but it's early. It's early.
Right. For sure. All right, you tell me, speaking of Ant-Man, you tell me, is this a must-win game for the Lakers tonight?
So here's the no, and then here's the yes. No, because LeBron has been down in the playoffs by 3 before.
Mm-hmm.
And so as still the de facto leader of that team, being down ain't finna rattle him. Like he knows that we could come back. Now slide that to the side because that's just coach talk.
Yeah.
If the Lakers lose by more than 10 tonight, they might get their ass swept. It's you can lose, but it's got to be close. It cannot be another blowout. Like you have to be competitive in this game. You got to be in this game. You need to lose at the buzzer on a tip back or something. You got to have something happen to let you know, no, we can't beat these dudes. Game 1 was just an anomaly. Throw that to the side. We can get these cats. So I would say, Dukes, that there's probably more pressure on this game 2, unlike any other game 2 you've ever seen before.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. So, me and Chico got to fussing a little bit about, strategy and how that works. Shout out to Chico. But one thing that I saw when we talked about the Lakers being able to attack Rudy Gobert only doesn't have to play a lot against the Lakers because if the Lakers go big, it's got to be Jackson Hayes. You know how many minutes Jackson Hayes played in game 1? Take a wild guess.
2 or 3 tops.
8 minutes.
Wow.
Scored 1 point.
Yeah.
And when he's not on the floor, the tallest player, when Jaden McDaniels was on the floor, he was the top. If Jackson Hayes isn't on the floor, Jaden McDaniels is the tallest player on the floor at all times. There's nobody on the Lakers roster that they can put that actually plays that's taller than Jaden Mack. So with that being said, when you dig into it, okay, cool. Well, why did the Timberwolves shoot so well? When you go and you look at the numbers, 73% of their three-pointers didn't have somebody in jumping range. They gave up that was the most wide open threes that they've given up all season. So basically, them not being able to having anybody to protect the paint makes them have to. They basically have to sag back, and they're rotating, and their rotations were slow. And so while they don't have anybody who can protect the paint, they're giving the Timberwolves open three-pointers. Now, do I expect for them to to shoot that many open threes? I don't expect for them to do that twice. But what does that open up? Now you got a face guard, and you have to guard the dribble. And that's where I think that the Timberwolves, they have lineups where they can go 1 through 5 of players that can take you off the dribble. So I think this was a horrible matchup for the Lakers in round one. I think styles make fights. Tonight I'm going with the Timberwolves. I think the Lakers are going to give it everything they got. I think the arena is going to be rocking. And, the spread actually went up. So now they were only favored by 4.5. The Lakers were favored by 4.5 game one. Now they're favored by 5.5. I'm about to take me a couple of dollars to go put it on the money line because right now, 85% of the money right now in Caesars, 85% of the money as of 9/24 was put on the Lakers tonight. And I know how Vegas likes to play. So usually when I see those large disparities, I like to go, and that's just on the spread, not money line, on the spread. So when the spread gets like that at Caesars, I like to go take a couple of dollars and just go bet with the underdog just to see if that's how Vegas is going to play tonight. So we'll see how it goes.
Big Dog Chico chiming in for the back. He says, yes, you're right, Duke. Stop the press, right down the time. 8:29 Central Standard Time. That Big Dog Chico acknowledged Duke's being right. Now he can only be right in getting you to pay him back his money. Then we're going to be on to something. Yeah, styles do make fights. A lot of contrast here. Ant-Man is one of those dudes that he wants to score 50 on LeBron and Luka. He not. Y'all might remember some of the chat with a little gray in their beard, like me and Deuce got who don't die like Chico. Y'all might remember the first time Orlando with Penny and Shaq had to go up against the King, and Shaq will tell you to this day he showed the King too much respect. Like he yielded to him too much, and not that the King wasn't dominant, but Shaq didn't assert himself. He's like, oh man, this is a King. Ant-Man don't look at LeBron them like that. Ant-Man, hell, he ain't look at Barack Obama like that. He don't care, man. And you don't care dude out there who trying to prove something, because they thought that time against the Nuggets was their year. So,
right.
Yeah, it's again, I'm gonna say, man, coach talk tonight is not a must win, but you can't lose by double digits. Lose by double digits, the series is over. Big Dog Chico says my Lakers will win tonight. AEAYN LOL. You right about that?
No,
Leon
sure.
says Green Punk Shaq. Shaq will admit that. Shaq will admit that, Leon.
All right. It's on. I think it's on you, huh?
Uh-oh. Man, you can go into the woods and don't nobody tell you it's a bear out there. And you get taken by surprise because you ain't know there's no bear out there. But if I tell you, hey, Duke, be careful, there's a bear out there, you're going to go with your bear spray, your gun, your knife. You're going to be prepared for the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know damn well that Shedeur Sanders is going to be drafted.
Right.
But we also know damn well the bear, such as the prime tax, the scrutiny of him, ain't going to let up just because his OTAs are rookie mandatory camp, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
What do you think the first bear for Shedeur is going to be in the league right after the draft?
I think it's going to be attitude. I think people are going to be turned off by his confidence. I think people are going to say it, and I think it's going to be people who don't matter as much I think it's going to be. Let me rephrase that. Not that people that don't matter. It's going to be people that aren't in that locker room consistently. It's going to be people who aren't in that huddle. Those are going to be the people that his confidence is going to probably. That if I were to pick something that people would be picking at just because it's the prime text, then I would say that they will probably pick at his confidence. You got to think there are stereotypical terms put on black men in America, and the first one is angry, and the second one is successful black men get seen as arrogant. And I think there's a confidence that goes along with the upbringing where Shedeur's has an upbringing that is second to none. It's the same way that they look at maybe our racial counterparts, so to speak, or when they get Ivy League educations, they walk with a certain flair, and it's seen as, oh my God, that's a guy that walks with a sense of confidence. And it's funny because then it's confidence, but when Shedeur walks as if I know I'm straight regardless because of who I am, and that comes from his upbringing, then it's arrogance. And I think that's what you'll see. The first thing you'll see as far as when people get to picking is going to be about how confident he is. What do you think?
Absolutely, 100% totally agree. That's the first barrier. That's their first attack. They're going to scrutinize how loud the music is when he pulls into the parking lot. They're going to scrutinize what he has on, the way he walks with confidence. They're going to scrutinize the way he carries himself. And it's all going to be with a negative lens, even though there's history in this same NFL of 32 teams owned by 32 billionaires that when others do it, it ain't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Manziel had swag and confidence. Nobody said a word. Baker Mayfield, swag and confidence. Nobody says a word. Shedeur Sanders, swag and confidence. Oh, he too uppity.
Yeah.
Not a people person. Bad attitude. Overconfident. What has he done and accomplished in his life to carry himself that way? What you have to understand, what we acknowledge is a prime tax, meaning that there are people who treat those around Deion Sanders a certain way with a negative leaning because of Deion Sanders. There's also a prime blessing. And in that prime blessing, Shedeur growing up in that household of a first ballot Hall of Famer, the best to ever do it at his position, arguably the best to ever do it, period, pound for pound, no matter what the player position is in the history of the entire league. You got to understand, man, Shedeur Sanders was 5, 6, 7 years old working on his autograph. But not working on his autograph from a sense of entitlement, working on his autograph after a long day of practice, working on his autograph after a long day of getting A's in school, because it was instilled in him, son, you're going to put in the work and you're going to be somebody, and don't wait on little things like this to become somebody. Work on it now because that's going to fuel you.
Mm-hmm. Grown.
Work into your signature is an autograph, not just a signature.
Mm.
And that has been his life, his mantra. That's why they called him grown when he was little, because he always carried himself grown or older than he is. And I think that's going to be the first thing the quote unquote counterculture tries to attack him with, that proverbial bear in the woods that we're acknowledging is out there, is that it's going to be what they define as an uppity attitude, as a sense of entitlement, as somebody who thinks he's more than he is. But as Duke said, and I totally agree with, the people that matter ain't gonna be saying, and who's matter? The 10 faces looking back at him in that huddle.
Yeah.
The 52 faces looking at him in the players only meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna hear none of them say it.
Right.
It's gonna be guys who've never laced them up, who've never been in the locker room, who've never been in an organizational setting, never been a part of a military group or a union or a fraternity. It's gonna be those guys who's gonna be saying it. Those guys.
Right.
Yeah. $5 super chat in from Marty. Marty, yeah. That's the super chat on. Do you guys think that if the Browns take Trav, that they can get back into the first round and pair him with Shedeur? Anything is possible with billionaires, but I don't see that one happening. I don't see that one happening.
Let me see. I'm doing a little research right quick. Let me do a little quick calculation. Let's see. All right, so the Browns got 10 draft picks. So I'll say this. If it were to happen, if any team could do that in that top 5 range, it would be the Browns, based on the fact that They got an extra pick in the second. They got an extra pick in the third. And they got an extra pick in the fourth round. Sheesh. No, they got an extra pick in the second. They got 2/3. Okay. They got 2/3. They got a 1 or 2. They got 2/3, a fourth, and they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 round picks. They got some draft capital this year.
Absolutely.
All right, so if it were to happen, I would say the Browns would be the team that could make it happen for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I say I not put none past billionaires because they got the capital to do it. What I'm looking at is down the road. Okay, 3 years from now, which one of them you keeping? Because you ain't keeping both of them.
No.
And then with the presence of both of them in the NFL, and this is certainly not a knock on my two favorite collegiate players, is with the Browns being where they are and what they're trying to accomplish. I mean, accomplish relevancy and above. Do those two guys versus the other things you got to have get you there? And so in my mind, if we're going to trade up and make some things happen, like they're almost like the Titans. They need so much of everything. Man, take a deep breath, take your time, and each time you got to pick, take the best person available.
Yeah.
Take the best. Every time your name is called, forget all this razzle-dazzle, trading up, packaging. Every time your name is called, look at the damn board and take the best damn thing available. I don't care if you already got one on.
Yeah.
Because one thing you'll never do is regret having taken the best thing available.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know though, because now when I'm getting back to looking at it, they need a lot of help.
A lot.
But damn, you got Myles Garrett, right?
Yep.
If you go Shedeur and Travis, just saying, Denzel Ward and Travis on the other side with Myles Garrett rushing the passer, then Shedeur throwing it to Travis with Jared Judy. And
But Dukes, here's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not disagreeing now. Keep in mind, I started off with, I ain't putting nothing past billionaires.
Yeah.
You're going to lessen the number of things you can add by doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
Like let's say I can take the best available player every time my name is called. I can get 10 people. I can do this trade, and I'm only gonna get 4 people.
Yeah.
You gave up. You Ricky Williams this thing. Now you gave up everything to have 2 things that you're not gonna be able to keep together when their second contracts come up.
Yeah.
You talk about $500 million 3 years from now going to 2 players.
You're right. But
I ain't never had a billion, so no one saw what Atlanta did last year. No one thought that was gonna happen, and it just worked. So I ain't putting nothing past nothing.
Yeah, now hopefully the Falcons get one of those draft picks. Oh, for the Kirk. Excuse me, for Kirk.
We got Renee Rainey dropping that $9.99 on our dogs. Appreciate that, Renee Rainey. Hey guys, how you doing, ma'am? Also, Lawrence RBE with a $5 that dropped in here. And he said, Neely is Leftwich on staff. That question is yes. It's disgusting how the media using 2 for clicks. Hey, man, that dude name rings out. So they're going to keep on doing it. I'm glad 2 is built for this, that he is. JSU is on the clock with retiring numbers. We'll see how that goes. But, hey, Lawrence RBE, Leftwich, you're going to see more and more of him when fall cap comes, as the pass game coordinator, much like Warren Sapp is the pass rush coordinator. And are they using the Sanders name and Shedeur for clickbait to just like they do with LeBron and Bronny? Absolutely. But it just shows you the relevancy of them. Because I've never in my history of covering drafts seen the quote unquote second or third or fourth or fifth best quarterback, however you want to name it, get talked about more than the number 1.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is why you draft if you got the chance, because he will change your organization.
All right, you tell me, so since when Shedeur gets drafted, I think they'll be up there as far as total draft compensation for a father and son combo. I think I believe was Archie Manning number 1 pick.
I want to say he was.
Okay, let me see.
Archie from Ole Miss to the Saints.
I think he was. I wonder if the sound man can search that up right quick.
No, he busy putting on his Lakers draws.
He was the second. Archie Manning was the second overall pick.
Okay.
All right. So when it comes to
Coach Prime was 4.
I believe so. When you look at father-son combinations, who are your top 3, regardless of sport? And we're taking Coach Prime, and they don't have to be draft status, but career-wise. Take Coach Prime and Shedeur out because we know they're going to be at the top. Your top 3.
Give me the Griffeys. Give me the Griffeys.
Ken Griffey, Sr.
And Junior.
Okay.
Because, man, not only did they both do it at high level in baseball, they both did it for the Mariners for a time and then even hit back-to-back home runs in the game. Like, that right there just puts them in number 1.
Right.
And I think when Shedeur goes to the league and somehow has a pick 6, then that might move him and Prime up. But for a father and son to go back-to-back home runs, man, that was indeed special. Let me see. You said son, but I'm gonna go daughter, and I'm gonna go with the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, and his daughter Layla.
I like it. I like that.
I'm gonna go with them, and then as we are for the sake of this discussion, excluding the Sanders, I'm gonna go with the Mannings in the 3rd spot. You can make it Eli and Archie, or you can make it Archie and Peyton, or you can make it Archie, Peyton, Eli. Whichever way you want to carve it up, I'm gonna go with them as 3rd. So give me the Griffeys, the Alis, and the Mannings.
All right.
You tell me.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna probably go the Ingrams, Mark Ingram Sr. and Mark Ingram Jr. or the 2nd. I'm gonna go with the Ingrams. I'm gonna tell you who didn't get a lot of credit for how good he was during his career, but PS1, Patrick Surtain, the first one.
You know, man, I had to stay with gender. That was my number 2, but I said, man, I can't do Ali like that. But I'm with the Surtains. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the Surtains. Because PS2 right now, he's the best cornerback in the league to me, and I lost a bet because me and my I'm a huge J.C. Horn fan, and we could even say him and his dad, right?
Yep, absolutely.
We'll tie those 2 right there. We'll go Jimmy Horn and no, excuse me, yeah, not Jimmy Horn. Joe Horn
and Jason,
and J.C. Horn, and then and I lost the bet because I thought J.C. Horn was going to be All-Pro before PS2. Well, I figured both of them were going to be All-Pro corners, so and they are. And then I think I'm going to go, my final combo would be Ed McCaffrey and Christian McCaffrey.
I thought you were going to go Curry's on me. I thought you were going to go Dale and Steph, but I hear you.
Oh, I could have went Dale and Steph. You're right. But, man, with Ed McCaffrey, who he was to that Broncos team, big 6'5" receiver, and then who Christian McCaffrey has been over the past couple of years, just a certified weapon. I'm going to go with the McCaffreys. And special shout-out to the Currys for sure.
Yeah, and I can't go with the Winslows because the junior he went off the rails, so.
Man, yeah, the Currys. Who they said? Oh, the Bonds. Yeah. Bobby and Barry, for sure. Both the lead hitters. Who is this? Is this the engineer or is this the sound man that's putting this ticker at the bottom?
Well, that's actually was a bad Chat GPT right there because they spelled play with the C, not a K.
Oh, back on Chat GPT, huh?
Never left it. That's his ghostwriter right there. They dropping balls. Chat GPT, MC Chat GPT.
He ain't lying.
Man, insider.
Hey, throw us something for the chat. Like we always let y'all know, coming up on 45 minutes, 15 minutes left to go on You Tell Me live on Tuesday nights. It's your favorite auntie's favorite Uncle Neely with my man Philip Dukes, aka Deuce Scoop. Make sure y'all out there liking, subscribing, turning on those notification bells and thumbs up on all 3 channels. That is Big Dog Chico's channel. That is Dukes the Scoop channel, and right here on the Pregame Network as well. So get those thumbs up, get those likes up, get those notification bells on. Gonna be back with you Wednesday with the morning run, a little Wednesdays with Warren. Thursday is Uncle Chico. Friday is the morning after the first round for the morning run. So, we ain't going nowhere. We got your back like bra straps. What up, Dennis? He said Kirk Douglas and Michael Douglas. I really think he was talking about sports, Dennis, but we'll allow it. Man,
We'll allow it.
Dennis, I see you in June on the bridge with your little dog.
Man, a Snoop Dogg and his son. The wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was Denzel and his son.
Yep.
Son played right. John Davis, he was a cold running back at Morehouse for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, it's on you, Unc.
Oh, is it now? I wasn't ready. Let me check the score real quick.
A couple of guys you might have forgotten: Bill Walton, Luke Walton, Dale Earnhardt Sr., Dale Earnhardt Jr.
No, we didn't forget about the Waltons. We just forgot about it.
Okay. The Mayweathers, Floyd Sr., Floyd Jr.
And can't forget the Uncle Roger. All right, so with less than 2 minutes left, the Thunder 112, Grizzly 96. Then coming up just after the top of the hour is that Timberwolves Lakers. We'll be out of here by then. The Pacers did defeat the Bucks 123 to 115. That's going about normal. So that's the playoff little updates right there. So I said the Jackson 5.
that boy Joe was a boxer, Lord.
Martin Wheatfall asks, is going to the UFL a bad thing in comparison, I think it was saying, to playing on the practice squad? I would prefer to be in the building.
Yeah, now the way the practice squad, they up the salary on the practice squad. You definitely want to be on the practice squad now, for sure. Like the practice squad before they changed the rules, and when they took away that last preseason game, and they added the extra NFL game where they kind of increased your ability to be on the practice squad from a year perspective. Because at first it used to be what you had to be your first 3 years, I think, or first 2 years.
Yeah, you couldn't live on it.
Right. So now you can be on the practice squad. Like, you got to have guys that are ready and that can play, and they're getting paid more like a NFL minimum. I think practice squad might be $400-$500. Like, hold on, let me see what the practice squad salary is now. It was never this high back in the day.
Yeah, we don't have no producer, so you got to make sure you do it. Now he's trying to chat GPT and beat you to it. He back there scrambling now.
That's a lie.
Oh, you right. I'm accusing you of working hard and fast. That would be a lie.
Yeah, practice squad 200. Practice squad of 230,000, and then that's just on the practice squad, and you got the ability to be called up, and then you'll get an NFL minimum salary check. So you got guys who was on and off the practice squad last year making $500,000.
Oh, I got a UTLB, man. I'm gonna kick it back to the NBA.
Okay.
You close out this thing.
Oh, Princeton Cecil.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Sweet Caroline said Devon Eriks, Fritz, Kevin, Carey, and David gonna wrestle that ass barefoot.
Texas Tornado.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Devon Eriks. I know it's just getting started, Dukes, and anything can happen. Not only in these opening rounds, because these ain't even nowhere near over. But you tell me who you got in the NBA Finals.
Man, right now I don't see how you can pick against the Celtics and the Thunder right now. I just don't see how you can pick against them. For anybody who I would say, of course, I want the Timberwolves to go all the way. But outside of that, yeah, I don't think you can. When you look at it, as far as on paper, the best teams. When you look at how do you beat the Thunder when they've got a little bit of everything? Like, when you can roll out multiple 7-footers who can play. Not that you have to hide, but they got 7-footers that can actually play. They've got some vet, like at SGA, we forget, just because like he's kind of a newer superstar, he's not necessarily young. SGA been here for a minute. I think SGA might be 26, 27 by now. And I think a lot of times people compare him to Anthony Edwards, but SGA is older. He's more mature on the court. And I think that that's going to take him a long way. So I think this is the year that they get over the hump and they start to push for that championship. So I'll go Celtics Thunder. Who you got?
I got no doubt in my mind, Celtics and Thunder, the two best teams all year long, and they weren't barely the best teams all year long. What I'm interested in seeing, though, is with that Celtics mystique and dynasty and history, and even though it's not the old Boston Gardens, what happens to that small market team from OKC when they have to go play in that blue blood arena with all those banners hanging up there? Because even though what you just said about SGA and his time, when you look at the Celtics, the team, the organization, and you look at OKC, the team, the organization, it still has that David and Goliath feel to it. So I'm going to be looking forward to, should these two teams make it to the finals, what does OKC do on the road in Boston? Gerardo Ramos got a question. Wise, YWY''S. I'm finna get on his ass by he asking me something. Why is Unc treat Dukes so good but always in Chico? Why do you type like a slave?
What?
Why is old Unc always mean to Chico but so nice to Dukes? When you give me a credible sentence with a question mark at the end, I do you better. Next question.
That's crazy, man.
Hey, Dukes, they requesting a live show tonight, baby. They want you live.
Hey, man, shoot, we might do something, man. You know what? I was on a couple of them dinner drills last night, fell asleep. I was supposed to do a members only live when we hit 30 members. So I think we hit 35. So I might do that. I might do a half live, and then 30 minutes we'll go live, and then we'll do another 30 minutes. Hey, whoa,
Mama Tia!
Mama Tia, it's a building.
Hey, sound man. Hit every sound you got, just one at a time. Go down the
Come on now, dog. He ain't lying.
Hey, boy, you gotta do something. Hey, for 200, Mama Tia.
Mama Tia is in the building.
Yeah.
Uncle NEELY, Duke the Scoops, love you to the core. Love you, Mama Tia. Glad to have you back in the mix. There's not a problem that she can't fix. We got Mama Tia in the mix. Mama Tia, man, come here playing, man. Come here, man. Look, let me tell you something. My day has been made. My night has been. We sit here talking about when Shedeur getting picked. Mama Tia is always first round, first pick, first ballot, Hall of Famer. She's back.
Mama Tia says she's back. Let's go. Mama Tia in the building. Yeah, man. Beat that surgery. Huh? Let's go.
Man, dropped off the bag and dipped. They dropped off the bag like, man, let me bless. Look, I don't even know I'm on this track. Let me bless my young homies.
Man.
Just dipped up out of here.
Man, hey, Mama Tia, hey, I'm telling you, ain't nobody, hey, one thing about it, Mama Tia come through, she know it too. Man, every dance move I got, she gonna get it, for sure. She drops something, come with a dance move. You better know it.
Had the sound man run the board.
Man. Yeah, man, Mama Tia back, man. I'm definitely gonna lie. For sure. Yeah. We're gonna talk about it, cause man, I'm telling you, they always ask about how Mama Tia doing. Every time I go live, they ask like, how Mama Tia?
Well, they see she doing good because she done gave us good.
Man, the hell you talking about? Huh.
Needed that.
You tell me.
Man, let me tell you what come right after the end of the month. The first of the month.
First of the month. Hello.
Did your OG check come? It just did.
Hello. Yeah, man.
Sorry, Mama Tia. We appreciate that love over the years, over the months, over the weeks, over the days, over the hours, over the minutes, over the seconds. Mama Tia done had our back like chiropractic.
Man, what you talking about, man? Mama Tia, hey man, Mama Tia so cold. Man, Mama Tia thought I was on somebody else's show, and then went just to support. She saw me on somebody else's show and went to support, and that's on the strength of you. I know that's where she saw me for the first time at right here. So, man, shout out to you, Uncle Neely, too, man, for providing a good platform for us to be able to grow. We always call it fertile soil, dog. That's what it's about, man. Fertile soil and being able to, help others grow. So I appreciate you, big dog.
Oh, man, you're more than welcome. I appreciate those flowers. And like I said, I'm just here to give what was given to me, and that's opportunity to people that want to work. Because like I always quote, I knew and I did like DMX said, do what hungry do and get you a hungry crew.
Man, he ain't talking about. You hear me?
Yeah. Get you a hungry crew. Coach Pride told me, man, Neely, you want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, man, get them other brothers in there with you.
I'm telling you.
Say less. Say
That's
less.
good.
Hey, look here, man. It's less than 5 to go. So you know what we're going to do on this show. It is another episode of You Tell Me with your man, Uncle Neely, and Philip Dukes, a.k.a. Dukes of School, Big Dog Chico producing in the background. Of course, we're going to check y'all out tomorrow, the morning run, as we're on the eve. Tomorrow will be the eve of the NFL draft. But like we always do when we close out, You Tell Me, that's with a note of positivity from my man, Dukes of School. Chico, put him on the screen by itself. Dukes of School, take us out of here with some love.
Man, as a lot of families from where we from get ready for their lives to be able to be changed by the NFL draft, I want to drop something I saw. And man, everybody talks about how we gonna get out the hood, and successful people want to get out the hood, and what do we have to do to get out the hood? And if we took care of the hood, we wouldn't be running away from it. So we need to take care. We need to take better care of what we already have, for sure. That's all I got to say.
Inch spitting. Put the neighbor back in hood. Get the neighborhood back. Hey, we're gonna catch y'all in the morning, man. Y'all know what to do. On the way out, drop where you're from, represent your city, represent your town. Give Mama Tia another shout out. Big Dog Chico, much love to you in the background. Appreciate your production. Deuce and Scoop, we'll see you in the morning. Chat, drop some love to Mama Tia and a peace out. We'll catch y'all next time. Look how he still got us on the screen. Like he just won't do right. There you go. Sometimes, man, you just get to where I can't figure this out. Like help me out. I'm trying to understand, dude, what the hell is going on? So that's the name of this partnership. You Tell Me. If you still in there, you got time to hit like. Go hit that thumbs up. Go get that thumbs up. Go get that thumbs up. That's NBA. North Carolina, Detroit, Timberwolves. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. Live. You tell me. Live. You tell me. Live. You tell me.